Hey, everybody, and welcome in to another episode of the Living Deadwax podcast. This is episode number 10. So we're 10 years old now. We can drink and drive, maybe not together, depending on your country. I don't know.
10 years
But
old, we're drinking and driving?
I don't know.
What?
It's a joke. It's a joke.
Are we Russia?
But of course, yeah. But anyways, guys, we are back in for another main topic episode. So these are the topics where we deep dive into a particular subject or artist, what have you. If this interests you at all, stick around. Hit the subscribe button. We would appreciate it. Like, comment, all that good stuff. Share it. All that good stuff. We certainly appreciate it. Helps out the channel. Helps us make us feel good. Gets us through the day. Yeah. All that good shit. But anyway, I am your host, Ty, for this fun tonight, and I am joined by, like always, Tyler. Tyler, how are you this evening?
Always. Every time I see your face, brother, my day gets better. You know that.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
16 years on, brother. You know, just every day is a gift with you, brother.
I truly appreciate it and feel the love. It was raining all day here, which is interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Rarely happens here. I didn't mind it. I don't mind it when it rains. I just hate the wind and shit. But it was just raining. It wasn't really windy today.
No, it was just straight rain. I also did not know it was raining until I walked out my front door to get coffee. Did not know it was raining until that happened. And then when I walked out the little dog park area, that was flooded. So it's been raining for a good while.
Yes.
And I did not. Like I said, I had no idea whatsoever. I slept through all of it, I guess. And
yeah, me too.
I mean, I still wore shorts and flip flops, so or slides or whatever, right? Still wore those out there, so I didn't go back. But yeah, it rained pretty much all day, almost, and it was gloomy all day. Which, since we are out here in the Valley of the Sun, I look forward to gloomy, rainy days as much as I can. I don't know if I could do it every day, like certain places have it, but it's a welcomed reprieve from our usual deals. For sure.
Yeah, exactly. Change it up sometimes. It's not bad. Absolutely. But anyways, Tyler, you chose tonight's topic, so if you want to introduce it, and we can kind of get into it.
So tonight's topic, we did 5 or more bands, whatever we came up with, and honorables, whatever. Bands that we don't get. So not necessarily maybe hate the band, but it's just bands that a lot of people might be super into, and they have a rabid fan base and this and that, and they're big bands within their certain audiences or whatever. But it's not for us. Like, tried, have experienced enough, have dabbled even in greatest hits, and maybe even deeper than that in certain cases, and just certain songs, but just definitely not to the level that the bands are popular, like they're with their rabid fan base,
Yeah, that's the way I interpreted this as well. Like, you're not gonna have Nickelback on here, or like Creed, or like
it's too easy. Like all that stuff. Like, and I think both of us are over it. Like as we when we were younger, if we made this list at 20, I think we would have had all that shit on there and stuff. But also kind of like Creed, so whatever. But like we would have done the butt rock lists. But like I more want to take it to like different bands that like. Not that they're not underground. None of these bands are, I don't believe, going to be underground. They're massive bands. But I think just talk about things that have not been, not so much conquered grounds here, maybe.
Yeah. So it's people that we might respect, but we just don't understand. So, Tyler, you usually kick it off. So why break precedent? So go ahead and kick us off with your first choice of the night.
All right. So my first one, this is a guy that I've asked Ty about, I don't know, no less than 1,000 times. Because whenever we're at the record stores or whatever, I'm always like, when are we going to do this? Are we ever going to do this? Are we ever going to get into so-and-so? And one of the guys that I always reference is Eric Clapton. I don't care about Eric Clapton. I outside of 3 songs, like it's just nothing that I would ever consider. I love guitar. Like, I love guitar. I love like guitar playing and players and everything else. Like, I don't play guitar, but I love it. I respect it and everything. It's just his certain version of shit is just nothing that I gravitate towards. Like, it's not, I don't love his voice necessarily. I don't really like, I've never really been blown away by his lyricism. and I'm sure the guitar work for what he does, obviously, because he's one of the gods, right, is amazing. But for my money, it's never nothing that I've ever stuck or nothing I've gravitated towards at this point in my life. Maybe it be something that you get into later on. Who knows? But I feel like, and I think Ty maybe echoes this a little bit, when you're talking about like legacy artists, especially, the catalog is so deep and daunting. It's kind of a little bit intimidating. So you don't know where to start, and and I'm sure there's certain, I'm without even knowing everything about Eric Clapton. Like I know the gist, about whatever, but like I'm sure there's a lot of eras and stuff that people are into that maybe aren't into certain ones and certain other ones or whatever. So I don't even know what era to start with to maybe be more easily accessible. I've heard the big records. I've heard, Tears in Heaven. I've heard, the Unplugged record, and then obviously Layla and, whatever. Like I get it. Shot the Sheriff, all that. I get it, but just not something that sticks with me personally. And nobody. Also, I think that's something else that for a lot of these bands, the legacy bands, like the older bands, if my dad wasn't a huge fan of these bands, I wasn't really exposed to it. So like, it's not. I think there is a little bit of a bias towards it. Like this band is not on the list because I like this band, but like my dad never bought AC/DC record, never ever bought one, and nor have I. I like AC/DC enough. I like the hits, whatever, and maybe a little bit deeper is from you, honestly, from you. But if it's not a radio song, I don't listen to it. Like, and I like AC/DC. I like, it's cool. Like I watch the videos and everything else. Like I like it as much as anybody else does. But for the older stuff, if Pops wasn't a huge fan, I'm usually also not really gravitating towards it. Just I don't know why that works the way it does, but just kind of it was never programmed into me. So he has some Clapton stuff, but it was never anything he showed me like, listen to this. This is what you got to listen to. This is awesome song. It was never a thing we had a conversation about. But I think first, yeah, Eric Clapton. When I said it last week, that's what I came to what I mean. I was like, Eric Clapton's just not something I'm into.
Yeah, it's a good choice. He wasn't on my list, but I can certainly hear where you're coming from. I certainly appreciate Clapton. Obviously, early English rock, Cream, Yardbirds, all that shit, that all Led Zeppelin. I mean, Clapton influenced all that
Massively
early shit.
Massively, yeah.
Sure. But I tend to agree with you. I think Wonderful Tonight's a pretty fucking amazing song.
Yeah.
I think the guitar tone and the I love that tone, whatever's going on there. I don't know enough about music to like talk intelligently about it, but I just love that sound. So I do love that song. I think the Unplugged performance is good. It's obviously iconic. Obviously, you got Tears in Heaven. It's very sad, obviously, because the son. Who did that joke? Was it Dennis Leary where he talks about the bag of cocaine?
Yeah,
who did that?
Was.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
it's a funny ass joke.
It is a funny.
If it was a bag of cocaine, he would have caught him falling out of the window.
I always
so funny.
heard it like, what's the difference? So the joke is, what's the difference between a bag of cocaine and David Clapton, whatever? Eric Clapton wouldn't never let a bag of cocaine fall out the window.
Yes. So I don't know who did that bit first, but yeah, it's funny. But yeah, I can see where you're coming from, and yeah, it might be a lot of these bands might be something like when you're older you'll get it, but I honestly don't think that's it. I think if you grew up in that, like I think if you were there, like you get it. Like if you were into Cream in the 60s, like you get it, and you probably still love Clapton.
Yeah.
But like I think it's probably very hard for somebody less than 60 years old to like go back and like
totally
get into them. Like you said, because it's going to be a daunting task too. Like, where the fuck do you start? Do you start with Cream? Like,
oh god,
you just go straight to Clapton?
So when I said the discography, like the catalog, I honestly wasn't even factoring. I was just factoring solo. I wasn't even factoring in Yardbirds or Cream records at that point.
Yeah, I don't think Cream has that many records, but still,
I think they have 3 or maybe 4,
something like that.
Yeah, but like, he was in a bunch of stuff, and he was, like I said, very influential. Your favorite guitar player is Clapton is one of their favorite guitar players. Like he's just everywhere. But for my money, just nothing at this current moment in time that I've ever wanted to really dive too deep into.
Gotcha.
So yeah, Eric Clapton.
I agree. Good choice, man. Good choice. I'm going to go with one that might be on both of our lists. I'll just get it out of the way first. This is probably the truly the only artist, there might be one more that I actually do not like at all. Like,
Okay.
I don't get it. I don't understand why people get it. I don't understand why people are into it. Um, and I very much hate this band and this person, and that's Dave Matthews Band.
Okay.
I don't know if this was a crossover with you, but Jesus Christ, it's
Yes.
fucking absolutely
Yes.
horrendous. Um, Honestly, a lot of the jam bands, and there's probably one that might be coming up later too on the list, but a
So
lot of those jam bands, like I don't understand. Go ahead.
So I think I might if you have another jam band on the list, I might undercut that right now. So I
Okay,
also had DMB on my list, but
gotcha.
I didn't want to do just three back to back to back. So
Yeah,
Grateful Dead, Fish,
sure.
DMB, all that
See, I
is equivalent. It's whatever. Just
yeah, I
no.
didn't put. I can see how you can lump Fish in there. Obviously, too. We've talked about the
Yeah,
Fish phenomenon. They're like one of the biggest bands in the world. That
Fish heads.
like they just you just never met a Fish fan though.
Never.
Um, so I agree. I had the Dead on there. But let's take it back. Let's personalize this a little bit. DMB. I mean, DMB was getting big like when I was hanging out with my brothers and older kids. Like Jimmy, who we used to hang out with. Jimmy, as far as I remember, and maybe still is a big DMB fan.
Oh wow.
So like I was exposed to some of that shit at an early age, like when he was really blowing up, and like
96 crash, right? So that makes still
yeah,
makes
like
sense.
I really like even as a kid, like I didn't understand it. When any of that shit comes on the radio, ask Anna, I will actively change the fucking station every fucking time.
100%.
Um, to me, it's just awful. Like I'm saying, like probably the only artist on here like I absolutely hate. The Dead I can at least respect as a legacy,
Mm-hmm.
whereas like DMB, like I don't even know how they have a legacy. And I think you can speak to like the weird crossover between Bruce Springsteen fans and DMB, which is
So
an interesting.
no, yeah, 100%. So I hate this story. I hate this story exists, but it does. So Bruce, just like all these bands we just talked about, has rabid fans, right? So well, my first Bruce show that I ever went to is 2012, right? Like I think so. Like 2012, I think was my first show.
10 years ago.
And yeah, exactly. So I went to my first Bruce show, and it was very cool. It was so awesome. I met cool people and everything else, right? And so I got on the floor, and I was in Bruce's front pit, which is the where you want to be, because it's right there at the stage, and everything else, and you can touch him when he does the fucking the stage dives and stuff, and does the whatever. Yeah, I'm trying to say the stage dive and so crowd surfing. There we go. That's what I'm trying
There
to
you
say.
go. Yeah.
So did the crowd surfing, super awesome. Anyway, so before the show, talking to all the way older people. I was 21 at the time, 20, and so 12, right? Yeah. Anyway, so I was talking to those people, and they were very cool, very very cool. And one of the guys asked me. He said, how many times have you seen Bruce? And I was like, first time. And that was a conversation I had continuously throughout the night. And what was funny is most of the, again, these are 50-plus-year-old people, would then scream, "We've got a bleeder, a virgin, we got a bleeder here." That was what they would scream. And that was really unnerving a little bit, right? Because I was alone.
Mm-hmm.
I was alone. So then I talked to one of the guys, and he goes, how many times have you seen Bruce? And I said, it's my first time. And he goes, okay, cool. How many times have you seen DMB though? And I didn't know. I literally did not understand the words that came out of his mouth, and it took me about like 3 or 4 beats to understand that he was talking about Dave Matthews Band, because up until that moment, I don't think I ever called DMB DMB. So
Mm.
I think like I didn't know what he was saying, and then I was like, oh shit, Dave Matthews Band. And I didn't understand. I didn't get why there's a crossover there, because they're not the same. There's no like direct line where you're like Dave Matthews Band, fucking Bruce. Like they're both like whatever. It's a guy leading a band. Like I get it. And like they're rock and what I get it. Like that's the bass line. But they're very different in the way they approach music and the actual songs and records they put out. It's very different. So it's just not there's no crossover in my eyes really clearly, so much so that you're asking somebody, Who have you seen them? How many have you seen them? Like it's different. Like it's like it's maybe it would make more sense if you said like how many times have you seen Metallica? First time. How many times have you seen like Megadeth or Slayer? Like you'd ask those questions.
Yeah.
That's an association, a direct association, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just nothing there. Yeah, just DMB. That's I never got it. The 3 fucking huge songs that like everybody knows, like Crash, the other 2, like
well, Crash is like one of the fuck that song, but Crash is like one of his only normal fucking songs.
Yeah,
and that's a decent ballad.
Yeah, but then it gets into the oral sex part and stuff, or the fucking what's it like? Take up your skirt a little bit, like that whole thing was always a thing. And then yeah, it's so hold on, like I don't want to get copyrighted here, but I want to do because I know we will know all of these songs that we've done. Me and you have done this before. So Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hold on. So the Crash, and then that song.
Yeah.
And then
what's the title of that song?
Ants Marching.
Yeah.
This is the space between. I don't want to keep playing it.
Yeah, I've heard this stuff before. It's not good. It's not good. Now, the Grateful Dead, I actually did like because I obviously being a big Freaks and Geeks fan. Spoiler alert, if you know at the end of the show, Lindsay becomes a deadhead. Like she gets her guidance counselor gives her American Beauty, and like that, the end of the show, like she leaves the town, she leaves her parents to become a deadhead. That always resonated with me as a kid watching that show. I absolutely knew nothing about the Grateful Dead. When I started collecting records, I'm like, well, I need a copy of American Beauty. So I bought American Beauty, and I remember listening to it, and I don't know, man. I'm just like, I'm not into this. So like the Dead, I have actively tried. I guess I'm not a pothead. I'm not like, I've never done any psychedelics before. Like, I guess that's just it. You know, like that's kind of what you have to do to get into those types of bands. So be it, I guess. But
so I watched, I've listened to just very bare bones, honestly, the Dead, maybe like 10, 15 songs, like just not that deep in it. I watched Long Strange Trip on Amazon because I'm much like I respect these people more than I like their music. Like it's a cool story for the band. Like it breaks down all the band members, obviously. It breaks down all the Dead scene and all the records and all that stuff, and you know whatever the first phase of the band basically, into like the second phase of the band. But like I liked it. I liked the documentary and I liked the way they did it. It was really well done. And I liked the guys talking. Nobody was like a weird douchebag. Like it was cool. As far as as a non-fan, that's what came up. Maybe fans have different opinions of different guys, whatever. But that's what I thought. Because I know there's different offshoots of like the Dead and the other ones, and then you know Dead and Company now and whatever. Right. Like there's literally the other ones is the other band, and then there's Jerry solo and whatever, right? So I like that a lot. But yeah, the music is just never stuck with for me. And also another thing that I'd noticed like way back when, and like still to this day a little bit, I don't see that many Dead records out there in the wild. Like, I feel like that might be one of those things that, like, if you're into the Dead, you got the records, you got the records. Like, you have them, and like everybody wants them, has them. And I don't actively, personally, again, not looking this stuff, you know, looking for it. I have not even seen like a lot of represses out there. Like, I've never seen like those campaigns. I know they come out with big, massive box sets for live shows because that's something I super love about the Dead, and I love about their fandom and everything else is I respect, and even all these bands, honestly, all of them, like that's cool for me. I love the idea of bootleg and bootleg culture. I love that idea. Like it's super sick, and the fact that they've been bootlegged every show for the last 50 years, whatever, right? That's amazing to me. I love it, and the fan interaction, everything. That's super. I love it. I love it to death. Super cool. But I just know they come up with those massive box sets, and they have like the legendary 4 nights at the Fillmore, the original Fillmore, and they have a massive 15 LP box set they come out with every 3 or 4 years of some other massive crazy show, bootleg show, and that's for $500, and then
they do one every record store day.
Yeah,
so
like I just know that because
insane,
I just know on the vinyl Reddit page, I just know it pops up, and I'm like, oh, okay, like the Dead have another huge box set out. So like again, respect these bands. don't care about the music. Just not into it. I don't care about any of it. And like I know there's hits,
Yeah,
but the hits didn't catch me either. So,
but also to add to it here, and then we'll move on. There, obviously, I think a lot of these acts are. It's more like, oh, well, you got to see them live. But it's like I don't want to see a band jam for 20 fucking minutes and play shit that I don't know.
okay,
Like, because it's not the same songs.
Not 20 minutes.
Well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
2 hours. You know what I fucking mean.
Yeah. They're playing
that's my
5
point.
songs, and they're not playing this. They're not playing songs that you know, but they're also probably not going to play the songs you know the way that you know them, which makes things so fucking weird.
Yeah. I mean, I can appreciate like kind of the talent that can go with that, but like I get it's like it's a strange journey, I guess. But like I feel like you need to be in a certain state of mind to fucking enjoy that shit. So also, you know what? Fuck it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I love seeing bands that I love do like interludes between songs and shit, like songs that I love and I know, and they jam together for fucking a minute.
A little bit.
Like I don't need exactly like it's fucking awesome. They play up shit every night and it's different, and they figure shit out for a minute or so between the next song, and they obviously they throw that into the next song. And it's good stuff I've never heard, obviously, and it's just really cool to see them just kind of jamming and whatever you see your favorite band do. That's awesome. I don't need 2 hours of it, and they play 5 songs, and I just don't know fucking anything you're gonna do, and I just can't get into it. And maybe if we did do drugs and shit, maybe it would be so much more enjoyable. Like you would have to. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't. Whatever. Yeah. So.
But I agree, and I will kind of counter that argument too. If people say that, oh, they're so talented, whatever. I will counter that argument and say, to me, it's way more talented to hear a band nail a fucking song and make it sound like it did on the fucking record, because they don't have the studio helping them out live.
Yeah.
And then it's way more impressive to me when you hear a band play even better fucking live, but they're playing it the same way. So I will kind of lump a motherfucker in here too that I do absolutely hate, and I don't even way more than Dave Matthews Band. And I do not understand the fucking fandom at all, and it's dumb. Oh, I get it. It's dumb fucking like drinking culture, and you're an old yacht rock piece of shit. And I'm not talking about fucking Sammy Hagar. I'm talking about Jimmy fucking Buffett.
Yeah.
Fuck Jimmy Buffett. It's annoying. It's awful. Any song I've ever heard is, it's a fucking joke. And like, no, like if you gotta sit, you just want to sit and drink a margarita and like, okay, like just do that anywhere.
So I have another guy on the list here. I have another guy that's the exact same thing. The argument is, well, if you have this and this is going on and this and you're here, no, you're talking about being there. That's what you're talking. You're talking about that event or you being where you're at. You're talking about that. You're not talking about the actual music. It's because it's not even that you're into the music. You're into whatever like event or whatever place on the earth you're into. Like once you're on the beach and you got a margarita in your hand and you got your shoes off in the sand. No, you just want to be on the beach with a margarita and your shoes off, and it's nice. Because that's nice. That's what you like, man. You don't need Jimmy Buffett to bring that to where it is, man. Like you're good without that. Yeah, I hate it's a geographical argument at that point, which doesn't apply to the music.
I don't understand the brand. I get it. I get why. I get the audience that he attracts, because the people that listen to Jimmy Buffett look like they listen to Jimmy Buffett. Yeah. But I'm saying like I don't understand the appeal whatsoever. What those people find in it. So he was not on my list. I just kind of threw it in there. That was a back and forth. I don't know if you want to go to your next one.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned Sammy. Sammy does a little bit of that gimmick, but the difference between them is Sammy has fucking cool songs. He's also a fucking very, very talented musician, and his fucking vocals are next level. So like even at 76 years old. So
I have respect for Sammy Hagar as a songwriter and a musician. I don't have any respect for Jimmy Buffett, literally whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you every level. Absolutely.
Other than the talent to take people's money for nothing, which is impressive, I guess. So
yeah, every year. Yeah, like whatever. Like it is what it is. Like good on you, Jimmy Buffett, for being able to make $1 squillion and sell a song to a restaurant chain, I guess, or whatever. I have no idea.
Yeah.
All right. So
So what you got?
I have another one. I got one on the list. I actually have a record by this band, and I don't hate this band. I just don't
Yeah.
like them
Usually
nearly.
we do show and tell, but a lot of these obviously we don't own a lot of this shit. So
No, not at all.
yeah.
And like I think Ty and I are on the exact same page with this, but I think Ty will hear it a lot more than I will. He hears this band name dropped by everybody in the metal scene, especially of a certain age, right? As it was their first favorite band, the band they were obsessed with. I love everything. When I thought about being a rock star, I thought about me and so all that stuff, right? And I don't hate the band. I just like the 8 songs, the 10 songs. I like that stuff. It's very surface. I don't need to go through all 22 records they got, right? All the different lineups and shit like that and whatever. But that band is a band
gotcha.
called Kiss. So
Yeah.
Kiss are legends, right? They have the records, they have the songs, and they've sold $1 trillion in merchandise over the years and everything in between, right? I like, me and Ty talked before, we like the 10, 12 songs, which I think everybody likes, but just nothing I would go back to too often. Like there's 2 songs I think are super, super sick that I actually do listen to on a semi-regular basis, but not to the level that Kiss fans listen to Kiss or love Kiss. I would never buy an entire, I think I want to buy a live at some point if I find a nice enough copy. And maybe I like this too much to be on a list, but like I just don't get it. Like I don't get how you're dedicating so much of your life to this. And I understand it's a lot of it is being a child and being toyetic and being appealing with the face paint and whatever. But as you got older, and we've talked this before between the two of us, like there was a delineation between kids of like Zeppelin kids and whatever and Kiss kids, and the Zeppelin kids would kick the Kiss kids' asses.
Well,
that was the thing.
I think the Zeppelin kids were older, so
They're older, obviously, yeah, definitely. So like it was just a different deal.
Sure.
And to me personally, I love everything Zeppelin ever did mostly, and I like 10 Kiss songs. So like it's just shit that it doesn't make any sense to me. I do wish my favorite band, I've told this to Ty before, I wish there's a handful of bands that I wish were my favorite band, because that means I have so much to go and do and buy and like dive into. Kiss is one of those bands because they have so much stuff out there. They have so many live shows, they have so many DVDs, they have so many documentaries, they have so much stuff out there that if they were your favorite band, it's so easy, like dedicate your life to that if that's what you want to do. But just not something that's ever clicked for me. Just nothing.
Yeah, they didn't make my list. I see where you're coming from, but I get Kiss. I understand Kiss. And this is weird because you can lump them in with the Jimmy Buffett thing. You can kind of say like they're a brand. They made stuff out of very little because they're not great musicians. I think they're talented songwriters. I really do. I think Paul is a really good songwriter. I think he loves that 50s like doo-wop R&B shit. Like he knows how to write a pop song.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Gene's a fucking talented songwriter too. They know how to write a catchy lick and riff for sure. So I'm going to stick up for him a little bit though, because the reason why they don't go on my list is because there's a lot of bands that I listen to that would have never picked up a guitar without Kiss.
Yeah.
A fucking ton of fucking bands. A ton of fucking bands.
Yeah. It's
so that's why I respect Kiss, because that 10-year-old got into Kiss they picked up a guitar and then they formed fucking Anthrax or whatever band, tons of fucking bands. So like when you in that world that you're talking about, like in the metal world, like you hear Sabbath, Kiss, those depending on what era you come from, those are mostly the bands, especially 100%. For like those late 70s 80s bands.
I think if you're a late 70s kid, like maybe if you're a kid of the early 70s, it's Sabbath. If you're a kid of the late 70s, early 80s, I think it's Kiss. I think that's the two, like that's the way it kind of went.
I'm
with you. Okay, I'm gonna go.
I can tend to agree there, but like I said, they don't make the list for me personally because of that. And
Mhm.
like you said, I like all the same songs probably that you like. I like the greatest hits. There's some songs that I absolutely love. I think Detroit Rock City is a fucking excellent song. I know it's played out,
Cool
but
song.
I really love Detroit Rock City. Love It Loud's a cool song. God of Thunder is a cool song.
Fucking
They got
War
a lot
Machine.
of the War Machine's a cool song. Got a lot of fucking cool badass songs, and I know they
Yeah.
got a lot of deep cuts too that people love. But again, I've never wanted to like take the deep dive. Maybe
Yeah.
someday, but they don't make the list just because of their giant fucking influence. So
Yeah, I'm with you, and they definitely are very very influential. It's kind of like the Clapton thing, the very influential. Everybody that plays guitar, name checks Clapton. Every metal band of a certain era, and probably even still today, on a certain respect, will name check Kiss as one of their first favorite bands.
yeah,
But it's just like I so Trunk did Eddie Trunk on his radio show he does the top 20, and he does
yeah,
his top 20 songs of the bands, and then he has people call in whatever, right? And it
yeah.
was amazing to me how many songs that dudes were like going off over, songs that I've never ever heard before. I've never heard
Yeah.
of before. And like it's just I just don't have the appeal. And like they played a little bit of it and like it's cool, but it's just nothing really stuck with me to really want to go back and dive into those records
Yeah.
further than what I already know of.
I think if you were a kid there, if you were 8 to
Of the time.
13, like when they came out, when they hit, when Alive came out, and that's when they really fucking hit, like
Yeah.
you're always going to be a fan. And it's kind of like I respect the fuck out of Kiss, and I'm going to relate it to a couple things. Like I'm going to relate it to wrestling because I feel like if if you were in the Attitude Era, yeah, there's a lot of people that didn't watch, but there's a lot of people that, yeah, I fucking loved wrestling. I fucking absolutely loved it. And even now, they probably won't say it, but sometimes they'll watch Raw or something,
Yeah.
just to scratch that itch. So I think
100%.
like that scratches that. Plus the whole show. Like, think of how much they did for like show. Like think about Iron Maiden show. You've seen Iron Maiden. Like Kiss was doing that shit before Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
So like that whole bombastic, that fucking big
Over
show,
the top
like
production.
give people their fucking money's worth.
Yeah.
Like I can appreciate that. So that's why.
They were the first. I mean, they're always name checked as the band because Cooper did theatrics, but
Yeah,
Cooper
Cooper as
did,
well.
yeah, but Cooper did because like there, I know there's like a slight like low key rivalry or like whatever because Cooper doesn't get name checked enough with enough people as being like a true innovator of like the theatrics because Kiss does in a lot of different circles, and Cooper in his eyes, I think, listening to certain interviews. Not that I don't think he's like an egomaniac, but I think he was just like, maybe they should mention me every so often when they talk about
Mm.
stuff because I did this. So Cooper did like low key laid back production way back when. Like he would do like the chopping his head off and everything else and
Yeah.
whatever, like do like certain stage show stuff. But Kiss, the one that brought in fire, they're the ones that brought in like the floating deck when Paul doesn't sings. I think that's when he sings. Um,
Yeah.
What's the disco song? How's
I was
People
made
Loving You?
Philip and you. Yeah.
Yeah, when he does that, I think that's who does that. Like the
Yeah. I
whole
mean,
thing,
you got
they brought all
you got
those in.
Ace's guitar that
Yeah,
explodes. You got Gene breathing fire. You got
and
the
like blood.
pyro. Yeah.
Yeah, and they
Like,
all have their
and
gimmicks and all that stuff. Like it's a thing that influenced everybody else later on for sure.
I'll relate it to another thing too that was never as good as it was when it originally came out, all around sort of the same time, a little bit later, and that is Star Wars. Same thing. I understand Star Wars. I get it. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I love, 4, 5, and 6, but I understand the appeal. That's the same way I feel about Kiss.
Mhm.
Like I understand it. So I guess
Because
maybe we
every
can
science
leave
fiction
it there.
filmmaker or filmmaker in general saw Star Wars and they're like, oh shit, I want to do that,
Yeah,
and they were blown away by
100%.
whatever.
And like Star Wars is a fucking kids movie. Like that's what it appealed to. It appealed to kids, and those kids grew up in generations, and it passed down and what have you. That's the same thing with Kiss. So
Yeah,
that's the way I relate it. So I wouldn't put them on my list, but I respect your
yeah,
choice. That's for sure.
there you go.
So let's get going here. Let's get a little going here with Tyler. So I don't fucking get the Doors. I've never got the fucking Doors. To me, there any fucking Doors song I've ever fucking heard isn't it never has appealed to me. I almost don't even understand the Doors' appeal in general to literally anybody. Um, just to me, like I don't think Jim Morrison is that great of a songwriter, lyricist. I don't think the sound of the band was never like, oh, this sounds fucking. They're doing crazy shit. Like that's just to me. Again, I've never taken like the actual Doors 100% deep dive. I know the hits. I know the songs that get played on KSLX a billion fucking times as we grew up. Um, and like we've talked on earlier shows, your dad was a big Doors fan. My parents are later, so they weren't into the Doors. So maybe I would love the Doors if I grew up on them. But
Yeah.
as a outsider looking in, to me, there's nothing fucking appealing about it. I don't want to hear the fucking organ. I don't want to hear fucking Jim Morrison try to fucking sing. Like it's not.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even a big Zeppelin fan. They would obviously not be on this list.
Yeah.
But like I get fucking Zeppelin. I get Jimmy Page and Robert Plant. Like I get that.
Mm-hmm.
You could just watch it and get it. You just watch the Doors and it's like to me I don't understand it. But
yeah.
So they definitely made my list.
Get it. All right, I don't get it, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah, my parents are almost 20 years older than your parents are. So like what year, when was your dad born? What year?
65.
Okay, so well they're 15 years older.
64,
okay.
65. Yeah.
Yeah. So so my parents, significantly older than yours. The Doors were always kind of around in my house. My dad actually never really listened to them that much. He would talk about them a lot more than he listened to them in the house, honestly. And it wasn't until he bought maybe the greatest hits at some point. So greatest hits like 95, 97, something like that. It came out like the one from the 90s came out. He bought that, and we had that in the car. But he bought Strange Days, and he listened to Strange Days a lot. And then like I looked at the records and I said, I think I've told the story, whatever, right? Cool. So I heard the Doors a bit growing up, and my dad was always a massive fan. The appeal for the Doors to me, what appeals to people, you don't know what appeals at all. Listen, Jim Morrison, sexy as all get out. Okay, it's a sexy dude. Okay, good looking.
If you're into alcoholics, yeah.
And I am. So there we go. I've been known.
You just call my bluff. Yes, I am.
Yeah, that I am.
Correct.
Yeah. So, he was good looking dude. He wrote poetry before he wrote lyrics. Really, like a lot of his stuff is very like psychedelic, obviously in nature. I think they were on the first wave of psychedelic rock as well. I've never done psychedelics or anything like that, right? Obviously, so like I don't appreciate on that level. But I do, and we've talked this before, and we've had this conversation before, actually, on the podcast. I also think the Doors is one of the first bands that pushed things as far as they could go in a certain respect. Like they were talking about drugs and sex and like dirty shit in their music. And you brought up, well, you got to think about the 50s. You got to think about what Elvis and what Little Richard did and all this stuff. And that's totally true. But they didn't go. They weren't
Sabbath.
Well, Sabbath. Well, Doors before Sabbath. The Doors were dead before Sabbath. 69, right? So the Doors were just about dead at that point. So like, I think just the music was so different because they didn't have a bass player. They had the organist. They had really interesting guitar work. Robert Krieger's guitar work is really, really weird. And because he played flamenco guitar, so like that was a very influential thing on his guitar playing in general. And then Jim's voice, I think Jim's vocals were also really, really cool. The songs told really cool stories. Whether they kind of made sense or not, whatever. But I think the whole aura around the Doors, I just think is very, very appealing, and it's cool. It's appealing to me, and I love all the Jim Morrison records. I'm a huge fan of. "L.A. Woman's" my favorite record of all time for the Doors, at least, which was also my dad's favorite record too, which is kind of cool that we have that. We never even talked about it like ever before he died, but like we have the same record. That's kind of cool. But yeah, so. I get why you're not. I get it. Like, there's not a band that you're into thinking about it that would be like a direct, like, because I know like Pearl Jam, like Eddie's a huge Doors fan. Like, if he played with them in the Rock and Hall of Fame, whatever, right? And I'm sure there's guys that will name check the Doors that you're a fan of, but I can't think of another crossover band that maybe would kind of be in the same area, possibly. I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe, I mean, you better than I do. Um, but the Doors were
Yeah.
kind of their own deal. Like, I don't listen to any other psychedelic stuff at all. Like, I don't listen to like 13-4 Elevators, is another one, right? Like, I don't listen to any of that other same ish sound. I never would, and I never like want to. It's just not a thing that I really want to get into. Maybe when I'm older, don't know. But the Doors just very different sound, and I mean, they sold 100 million records, so 100 million fans can't be wrong.
I mean, yeah, I mean, there's been large groups of people that have done wrong things. So just because you've sold a lot of records doesn't make you good. But
um, I
but
get
yeah,
it.
I'd say
You've had that. You've
I
been on that
just
hill for a long, long time.
it's never once like, oh yeah, this sounds good. Like I need to check out more. It's always like, dude, what the fuck? Like I don't.
So what's weird to me is like, you never thought it was not. It's not because it's fucked out. Like a lot of stuff is fucked out, obviously, but
Yeah.
you always had the thought like this shit is not cool.
No, it's never. They've never appealed to me ever.
Like,
in
Break
my
On Through or like Light
years.
My Fire or like none of that shit because that's rock radio staples forever. Like KSLX would play that at nausea, right?
It's not really because it's fucked out. Yeah.
Wow.
Like Zeppelin's completely fucked out, and I still.
Yeah.
I don't want to listen to Zeppelin, but I can appreciate them, whereas I don't appreciate the Doors at all. So that's my choice.
Yeah, that's an interesting deal. Okay, fair. I mean,
I get controversy.
That that's very controversial for me personally.
Somebody's got to do it.
Hurts my fucking heart. So there's that. But yeah, whatever. It is what it is. Okay, so the Doors. That's yours. Okay.
So maybe if we ever do album homework assignment, you can assign me you can sign me a Doors record.
Yeah, but you're not really into the blues though either, are you?
Because
I don't
really. I don't know.
Because I also think that's another thing, like for Zeppelin, because Zeppelin's very blues based. I don't think that I think Sabbath is not.
So was Sabbath. I mean, Sabbath was a blues band.
Fair. I don't think
there's a lot of bluesy-ish songs. That first record, there's a lot of. Probably 2 or 3 records deep that they really, really abandon all that stuff. Yeah. You could probably pick songs off Paranoid too.
I just immediately with my ear, I don't think about the blues when I hear most of Sabbath.
No, me neither. I could definitely pick it out of the Doors or Zeppelin though. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And honestly, I think most of Zeppelin is just because it's fucked out. It's not just because I dislike it. It's just I don't want to hear any of those big songs anymore ever again. So what's your next choice? Bring some controversy. Creates cash.
Right. That's Eric Bischoff. All right, another guy that I really like. I like 3 songs. I really do, and that's blasphemous for a lot of people, and a lot of people. For one of the guys behind me as well. I'm not a Bob Dylan guy. I'm not a Dylan guy at all. I've never been a Dylan guy. I've listened to the greatest hits. My dad had a bunch of Dylan records. He was not a Dylan guy, but he had all the records or whatever, right? And I listened, and it just never appealed. Like, while I can respect Dylan on almost every level, I know there's a lot of different eras of Dylan, and I know I know his gospel record is supposed to be really cool and killer, and whatever. Just music and whether you're religious or not, I guess, but another story. But they're supposed to be really cool, and of so many different eras of Dylan, it's just never been a thing. And it's not it's nothing about his vocals. That's another fucking horrible argument people make all the time about bands. You got a fucking thing. Britney's parents were notorious for that, because if a man cannot sing, or if somebody can't sing, they can't listen to it at all. And that was always a weird argument to have with people, because it's okay, but listen to the songs, man. The songs are there. And with Dylan, the songs are there too. I think Dylan's obviously a very, very, very talented songwriter. It just is never something that I really feel the need to go deeper on than the handful of songs that I like. And I've listened, like I said, listened to the greatest hits, and it's still just whatever to me. I remember when I first heard Hurricane, I think that was my first Dylan song. And I think it was because it was in Dazed and Confused. So that's my first exposure, top of my head, to Dylan. And then I just went back and like Rolling Stone, times are a change and all that stuff, whatever. it's like it's fine. It's fine. I don't hate it. Like if it came on, I'm not fucking angry. Whatever. I would just it's whatever. I respect it because I know that he is the genesis for folk rock going where it went. Because I know Arlo Guthrie and Woody Guthrie and all that stuff, like all the stuff prior and country and whatever. Like I get that, but I know that he's the one that took that to a whole different level and kind of steered the ship and steered like counterculture movements and everything else, right? I get it. I respect it all the way. Just again, nothing that I want to seek out, nothing that I seek out to listen to, nothing I find inspiration from necessarily. And I've watched interviews with him and I've watched all that stuff. And I, again, respect the man, respect what he's done, would never talk shit about him or anything like that. Just the music for me, it's also so dense. Like it's just so much for the discography. There's so much out there. There's just, it's squillions upon squillions of songs to listen to. And that's a little bit intimidating. Obviously, we just talked about it's never clicked, and I don't care. And I don't want the guy to die. I don't hate his fans. Whatever. Just
I don't want any of these people to die.
No, not ever. Never. I hope they never die. Live forever. But whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with you. I could honestly put Dylan on this list, my list, but I've never really tried. So mainly my Dylan exposure is like the songs that you hear and like people covering Dylan and then the Wilburys. Like that's it.
Yeah.
So like I've never really tried, so that's why he didn't make the list, but I completely understand it. To your point about the voice, like the casual listener though, that's the first thing that's going to grab them. And if you don't like a person's voice, you're not going to listen to it. I mean, there's prog fans that will not listen to Rush and do not like Rush and will never listen to Rush because of Geddy's voice.
Yeah.
So like it's a big hurdle for some people.
You're right. I don't even like when you told me that a million times before, and I just like, and I'm not a massive Rush fan, but that would never be a reason I don't listen to Rush is Geddy's voice. I think Geddy has a really cool voice.
It's very unique. Yeah. And I think if you're getting lost in Geddy's voice, you're kind of missing the point of Rush.
Yeah, for sure.
There's way much more going on than Geddy singing. But to Dylan, there isn't. It's him and the guitar. So I know he went electric and shit later, but like how much like that voice is a big crutch. You got or a big hurdle to cross if you're gonna get into him. So I could definitely agree with you there. All right, good choice. I'm gonna go with one. Might be on your list. I'm gonna go with Queen.
Okay.
I like the songs that you're supposed to like. Dabbled in the greatest hits. I have tried. I've listened to quite a few Queen records front to back because I've actively like, I want to listen to some fucking Queen. Let's do this. I don't get it. I understand the songs. Like I get Bohemian Rhapsody. It's an amazing song. It's fucked out, but I get it. I get those big ass Queen songs when Freddie's taking over the fucking song and killer fucking guitar by Brian. But like some of those fucking like the deeper cuts, it's just like I don't even know what's going on. And then you let fucking was it Roger Glover or whatever, right? Isn't he who's Roger Glover? That's from Deep Purple.
Yeah, Deep Purple, Roger Glover.
Yes, gotcha. You knew what I meant. Yes. You let these other guys write songs, and it's like you're writing songs about cars and shit, and it's like, I don't know, man. I get Queen because I get the appeal. I get Freddie, obviously, but I think that band fucked without Freddie Mercury. I don't think that band would have ever been what they fucking were.
No,
even close to it. So,
so I would tend to agree. Like I like Queen, but I like the songs. Like
I'm not saying I dislike them. It's just like one of those things where I've tried actively to get in deeper, and I just can't do it.
Yeah,
I get the appeal, but I just can't do it.
I'm with you.
And to be
keep on.
To be honest with you too, like kind of talking a little bit about the Doors is like I don't hear a lot of Queen influence in a lot of the shit I love.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of acts that. I mean, it's kind of hard to be influenced by Freddie because there's only one Freddie.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, Freddie Mercury. I really looked up to Freddie Mercury. It's like, okay, good, cool. Good luck, I guess. I don't know. You know. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm with you. I think that I don't know, man. Like I said, I like the Queen, I like the songs. Um, I like their later stuff more than I like the earlier stuff, or at least a handful of songs of later stuff.
Hmm.
Like Radio Gaga, Song Must Go On, like or Show Must Go On, like those are my favorite Queen songs. Um, I don't know, man. Like I think that the story of Queen, I think, is much bigger than what the music is. So like
Okay.
I would never shit talk the records. Like I'm with you. I've listened to them as well. Like Heart Attack and Killer Queen and all that stuff. You know, like it's cool. It's nothing I would give my life to, like certain people want to treat it as. And I think new Queen fans, something that I think is funny, and I don't mean to be like ageist or whatever the fuck, like whatever. And I hope maybe I'm wrong, but you and I have watched enough vinyl collection videos on YouTube. If people have like Queen had the Bohemian Rhapsody soundtrack or whatever, right? And then they talk about how Queen's their favorite band and this and that. Like I think that you think that every song is what is in Bohemian Rhapsody, like in the movie or otherwise. I think you think that's every song. No, those are the songs that you like. You like the greatest hits. That's what you like because you're not gonna go to Night at the Opera and listen to that entire fucking record and be like, I love every fucking song in this record. This is amazing. It's one
Mm-hmm.
of my favorite things ever. It's not. You're not prepared to do that. You're not. And younger kids, I think that it's like that. Not every song is like that. They're very
Yeah.
very different. They're straight up rock and roll early, like heavier-ish rock and roll early, and they got a lot more. I mean, more vocal based, and Freddie got obviously his vocals kind of took off, and then they kind of started experimenting a little bit later into the '80s and stuff with the electro sounds or whatever. But I'm with you. Like I like the songs. I don't go deeper than that. I don't find the need to go deeper than that. I have the greatest hits. I might have Night of the Opera, possibly. Might have that, but
Yeah.
I don't have anything more, and I don't really feel the need to have that.
Yeah. I'm,
But
I'm pretty much the same way. So,
yeah,
what you got next?
all right. So another one that I think we might share this possibly, but this is one of the ones that came up. Besides Clapton, this is one of the ones that came up immediately. I
Okay.
get it, talented, get it, all the talent, all the stuff, this and that, everything you want to say. I'm about it. Okay, sick. I don't like Tool. And I don't like A Perfect Circle. I'm not into it, man. I can't do it. I've listened to the records. A good buddy of mine is a massive Tool head and has sent me enough goddamn videos of Danny Carey fucking drumming and everything else. How could you not love this? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get how you couldn't just find. Okay, Zach. Sorry, Zach, calling you out, buddy. Okay. I cool, man. I'm not saying that anybody sucks in this at the band. I'm not saying that anybody's untalented. I'm not saying anything. Nothing has hooked me to like be super into Tool. I've heard all those radio songs. I've listened to enough of the other tracks to go along with this. And there's not a lot of records out there, which is really like it helps you out if you
5.
really want to make a like it helps you out if you ever want to make that dive because there's not a lot of records, and I don't think the records are very. I don't think there's many songs in the records. But like, it's just not a thing for me. And like here in Phoenix, maybe it's everywhere. There's Tool fans everywhere, but like there's a pocket of them here because Maynard lives in Arizona. He lives northern Arizona. There's a pocket of Tool fans and a Perfect Circle fans, I guess. Also, I've never really ran into anybody that really jocked Pussifer, but I maybe could. But like it's religion for a lot of them. It's a
Yeah.
religion, and there's like I think there's probably quite a few YouTube like Tool fan joke videos, but it's all real. I've
Yeah.
literally had these conversations with people that have tried to dissect to me why Tool is the best band in the universe and how Maynard's voice and these lyrics and these time signatures and everything else. I've heard it, man. I've heard people try to do it, and I just can't get it. And it doesn't help matters much that one of the bands gets lumped in with Tool for whatever reason is Nine Inch Nails, one of my favorite bands of all time. Okay.
Yeah.
I love Nine Inch Nails more than most things in life. Okay. But they're not comparable at all. They don't have very many things in common. I think Maynard's voice is better than Trent's. Like Maynard's a better voice than Trent. Like that's a thing. That's a thing. Like I don't know how you can listen to Maynard's voice and then want to listen to Trent Reznor. Trent's never gonna want. He's never a vocalist. Like they're different. He's a lead singer of a rock band, a heavy rock band. He's not like Maynard's voice is amazing. It is. I love Maynard's voice. I do. I just don't care enough to go even any deeper than that. Honestly, it just doesn't hook me that way. And I like with Zach, I've told him 2 or 3 times at this conversation. I said, if we want to talk about how they're playing the same sport or something, like if that's what the combination always get, or the comparison that people draw a lot of the time, Nine Inch Nails are 3 to 4 minute long, heavy, catchy, a lot of it rock songs that are heavy as shit, have cool lyrics, cool guitar work, cool drums. All that stuff just hits you, and they're just rock songs, man. They just go, go, go. But with Tool, it's a whole thing. It's a whole like fucking experience and fucking like drawn out shit. And it goes on for 7.5 minutes. And like there's longer cuts of songs that are even longer. It's just, I can't do it, man. I'm out of it. I don't care. It's whatever. I respect everything. Respect musicianship, respect the skill, respect probably influence on other bands, obviously, probably get it. And I think Maynard sounds like he's a pretty cool guy. I've seen interviews with him, whatever. Sounds like a cool dude. Okay. Don't have anything wrong with these people. Just not for me. Just never been for me. Don't think it's ever going to be for me.
Yeah. Tool also made my list. So definitely when we had crossovered. I know a lot of those Tool records pretty religiously. Josh owned honestly everything up to the new record. Like he even bought 10,000 Days when it came out. I respect Tool for making shit be like a big deal because they don't release a record every 2 years. Like it's a big deal when a Tool record drops. So I appreciate that. I appreciate Maynard. I think he's a good ambassador for music. I think they're all uber talented fucking musicians. But I agree. Like I like Sober. I think Sober's a badass. I know that's like the common fucking choice. Yeah. I think Sober's an actually really good song, and I think it's popular for a good reason. Some of the shit that I've listened to, like it's weird because their Tool fans will lump them in as this prog band, but you listen to a Tool record and it's all very samey. So like maybe it's just beyond my level of understanding. I don't know, but it's all very, very samey. So to me, it's not very progressive, which it's not necessarily a negative, but if you're going to call them like a prog band or a progressive metal band or something, yeah, to me, they're lacking some of those elements. I do kind of equate them, Rush, like you were talking about Nine Inch Nails. I equate them with Rush quite a bit, not on the influence or sound, but the fact that there's only people that listen to Rush. That's all they listen to. There's only people that listen to Tool. That's all they listen to. So I can equate it there, and I will go to bat for Rush. Like they're playing a different sport. Like I think those guys were some of the most talented people to ever play instruments, at least to my lay ears. But I would never like go to like the extent that Tool fans go to. Like, how could you not understand it? I don't know how could you not understand Maynard? Like, I don't know, man. It's just like I don't care. So I'm very much the same way, and I grew up on a lot of that stuff, and I don't buy the Nine Inch Nails comparison at all. Like, I guess they kind of ish blew up at the same ish time, sort of, but like to me they sound totally fucking different.
Very different.
I can't. I don't buy that at all.
I like Tool, like again, I only know what's here, but like they're a very big band here. Like they sell out everywhere probably, but they sell out here instantaneously. It's a big deal when Tool comes to town or Perfect Storm comes to town. It's a big fucking deal. When those records come out, it's a big fucking deal. And like you said, that is very cool that both of those bands, because Maynard's in them, and I think maybe one of the other guys is also in the band with Perfect Circle, but like they don't release records very often. So like it is a
No.
very, very big deal when they do come out, and that's kind of cool. Like it's almost like a Metallica thing because Metallica doesn't release records very often in the last 20 years. So like it's a
I mean,
whole nother
Tool's even
thing.
crazier than that, though.
Yeah, because they went like 8 years between the
Well,
last record and the record before, right?
it was 13. So
Fuck
06,
me, you're right.
2019. Yeah.
Fuck, wow, god damn it.
Yeah. So it's an
Like, and
event. And
it's
it
a
was
big event.
96. I think it was like 96 or 98. No, it was like 2000 to like 06. And then like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's usually like on average, I think like 6 or 7 years. So like it is an event. So I appreciate that. The fact that they don't milk the fuck out of their audience and like tours and shit. So I appreciate that they're comfortable in what they do.
yeah.
And that takes
93,
integrity.
93, 96, 01, 06, 19.
Yeah, so there's definitely a big gap there. So
Yeah.
I respect the fuck out of them for that. But yeah, I agree. Some of the shit's just some of the fans are a turn off. B, it's to me, it's all a lot of it's samey. So that's just
It's
it.
exhausting and like
I'm sure.
again like
I'm sure.
the hits. I'm going. Sorry.
I'm sure I probably upset with somebody with that samey argument with the way I listen to it. It's just to me, it's samey. Like I like Sober. I think Sober is. We were talking about a perfect circle. I think Judith's a very good song. I think it's a very powerful song. But that's it, man. I've tried to listen to that whole record multiple times. I've tried to let it flow. Like after I pick out Judith, and then it's like, all right, I'm coming for Judith. That's it. See you later.
Yeah.
See you in another
Start to
2
lose
years.
interest. No, exactly. Like Schism. What's the pot? Hold on.
Oh, fuck that song.
I don't know.
That's from 10,000 Days. That was a big song. I don't like that song at all.
Okay. Sober. 46 and 2.
That's a cool song. You know that song. But it's the same intro. It's the bass. It's just the same intro. Like all the songs start the same.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. And like again, I think the songs sound cool. Like the hits, like it's fine. Like I like it when it comes on. I'm cool with it. I don't change the station. I let it play. It's fine. Like whatever. It's just I don't know. It's just it's not really all there for me. The fans, like you said, are a turn off because they just express to you the shock that you are not dedicating your life to Tool like they are. And like yeah, like it's almost like oh never mind, I'm not gonna make it like person, but it's just it's an entire religion to certain folks. Like oh fuck whatever, it's almost like people like with Christianity or any maybe other religions, I don't know, whatever, right? But like if you really believed and you really wanted to like get people into like your way of thought and your belief systems or whatever the fuck, like Tool fans are like really like that, like really, because they honestly go into it going, I don't understand why you don't want to come to the kingdom. Like why don't you want to get to heaven? Like why don't you want to do this? Like they're more intense than most religions out there, and that's including the ones that go door to door. Because when you go to a show or some shit and you have like that's one of the things like a girl I know has is a huge Tool fan, and she like had a shirt and I was like, don't wear that. You don't want to wear that shirt. She's like, why? And I was like, you're gonna get into a conversation you don't want to get into. And she's like, oh, a Tool fan? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, it's not a big deal. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. You do what you want to do, girl. She never wore the shirt again because she had the conversation because the guy was like, you like that? Which yeah, I love what's your favorite song? I like the whole Tool conversation happened, and like I was like, yeah, you don't wear the Tool shirt, man. You don't, because that's the thing that's gonna happen. Because when those guys see an attractive woman with Tool shirt on, they're gonna seek you out instantaneously and want to talk to you about this shit deeper than you ever thought you wanted to.
Yeah, 100%.
So, whatever.
Right.
Anyway, Tool.
Good choice. Good choice. Good discussion there. I've got a few more. I don't know. I know we can kind of get this wrapped up here. I'm gonna go more into the metal world. I'm gonna go with a pretty big UK black metal band, Cradle of Filth.
Ooh.
Tried many times, never got into them. You think it would be up my alley. It's kind of atmospheric, gothy black metal. Um, I never really gotten Danny's lyrics. Honestly, he gets cited. Oh, he's a poet. They're very much a female fans band, so that's usually if they're don't want to fucking lump everybody in one box here, but usually when it's full of females, it's always, oh, the lyrics are poetic and all this shit.
Yeah,
Usually it doesn't resonate with me. It's very gothic, so you'd think that would resonate, but it doesn't. I just never could fucking get into it. And we talked about the vocals before, and black metal vocals are obviously unique, but Danny's are even more unique than anybody's.
yeah,
So it's always that has been a hurdle that I can never get across. That's for sure. So I'll put Cranial Filth in there. That's kind of they're a giant fucking band. They're still big to this day. And I wanted to check him out because when I was getting into black metal, like you listen to Dimmu Borgir and then you listen to Cradle of Filth. Like those are like 1A or 1B or vice versa, Yeah, that's 101. So yeah, and I was like, I don't like Cradle of Filth at all.
yeah.
But
Did you think
so
so when you did that? Did you think you didn't like black metal? Because you're like, if this is what you're supposed to listen, this is what like, do I actually not like?
I guess I don't know. I just guess I just kept listening to it though. I don't
Yeah,
know, and
yeah,
got more into the Norwegian scene and deeper bands, I guess. So,
yeah.
but yeah, I guess 50-50 isn't bad. Like if you like one of the bands, you're
I
not like
guess.
totally. I guess if I didn't like either of them, then perhaps yes. So,
Fair.
but yeah, so Cradle of Filth, they made my list.
Okay. Um, Another one here that again, some of these I like. I like the bands. I just don't understand, and it's too much, and I don't want to go and do the whole thing. And I think it's whatever. But another
Okay.
band is the Rolling Stones. I
Mm.
like I like the Rolling Stones. I like the handful and a half of Stone songs that are fucking everywhere. I like them. I like when they're in music or they're in movies and shit. Like I like that. Like they're always cool. Like a lot of the covers of Stone songs over the years, like all the Sympathy of the Devil covers over the years are always usually pretty cool and stuff. Like it's fine, but I'm much more of a Beatles guy. Like I'm a big Beatles guy. I'm much more of a Beatles guy. Which is weird because like I know the Stones are darker because they're more bluesy than what the Beatles were because that's the whole thing was just being a rip off of Black American blues. But like they get darker and weirder
Hmm.
and with stuff, and that should appeal to me, and it just never has. Like I don't know. Like I've listened to a fair amount of the records, at least once over the years, because I just want to like, okay, well, because the
Hmm.
big anniversary releases come out, right? And I'm like, all right, cool, like fucking Some Girls. Okay, I'll listen to Some Girls and see what happens. That's a big anniversary release, the 40-year anniversary, whatever. I'll listen to that, and there's nothing really there. And then like Let It Bleed, like whatever, just don't care. Like Exile on Main Street, I know is the huge record, and like it's cool, it's fine. Like the song, there's a lot of the songs are on there, and that's cool. But they're also like, and again, I respect everything they were about, and they are about, and they do, and they've managed to be amazing performers for 65 years, man. Like they're still doing
Yeah.
it, and for everybody, for all intents and purposes, as much as anybody talks about it, they're doing it as well as they ever did. Still to this day, and that says something about their longevity and everything else, considering the way that especially Keith Richards obviously has lived over the years, like and Ronnie Wood and whatever. Um, but yeah, it's just I just don't I don't know beyond the songs, beyond the handful and a half, like 40 licks. I don't even think I like 40 licks, man. I think I like
Oh wow.
11 licks. Like
11 or 12. I'm good there. How many
yeah, I
licks
think
does it
I'm
take?
yeah, exactly. Like I don't know, no girl I knew it was 40 licks, but
I was
it's
doing the fucking Tootsie Pops, man.
I know you were.
Dear
I know I went
Lord.
dirty because they're dirty. But it's whatever. Again, I'm not. I still like when they come on. I still like the songs that come on. Um, Beast of Burden obviously is fucking incredible. Painted
Give Me
Black is fucking
Shelter is a good
great.
song.
Give Me Shelter, like just fucking
Mm.
incredible songs. But beyond those, like I think there's a reason why so many of those songs are so big. It's because those are the best songs. Those are their best songs, man.
Yeah, probably.
Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just never appealed to me to go deeper than that. And I know that's blasphemy for a lot of people because the Stones are such an institution in rock and roll, and I'm a big rock and roll guy. So, it's a little bit blasphemy, but just personally and whatever. It's fine.
See, I debated heavily on the Stones. Ultimately, I left them off just because of the influence thing, much
Yeah.
like Kiss, I guess. Um, I kind of did. I don't like the Beatles, um, I, but I can begrudgingly accept their appeal and the influence. So
Mm-hmm.
they didn't make the list per se. So I would kind of lump them in with the Stones. So that would be why. But yeah, I could certainly see it. I like the songs that you're supposed to like. Anything that I've heard outside of that, it's just like, okay, all right, cool. And like you
Yeah.
said, some of these bands, it's just fucking daunting. It's like, dude, I'm not starting that. It's like starting a fucking book series that has like 20 books or something. It's like, all right, if I read one and like it, like I'm going. Like this is it. Like this is my new
Yeah.
band. I just gotta listen to Stones for the rest of my fucking
No,
life.
no, yeah, like I could listen to a Stones record for like every day for like what 2 months or some shit. Like, come on, man. There's so many, and like so many
Yeah.
live releases. Like the stories of the Stones are very cool, and again, I respect all of it because they are such an influential fucking pillar of rock and roll coming out of the '60s, right? Just everybody loves the Stones and this and that. I also didn't know my mom is a massive Stones fan. Like I knew she liked the Stones so much so
Oh.
that she was considering like she was actually my mother is off the internet. My mother is off. She knows nothing of what's going on in the world, really, especially with any sort of technology. My mother was contemplating going online and buying Stones tickets the last time they were here a few years ago, and she was
Mm.
like, I'm still kicking myself. I still knew I should have went online and bought those tickets. I should have done this and should have done that. I wanted to go see those. I was the day of. I thought I could get a ticket maybe from somebody else on one of the scalping websites people talk about, and I just didn't do it. And I was like, "You like the Stones that much? I didn't know that." And so, the pickup episode, when I went to Atlanta, I put that on there's a picture. If you watch pickups episode, there's a calendar that I have, and it has a picture of an '81 Stones performance at ASU here in Arizona, obviously. And that show is an HD, crazy, wonderful quality because they released it professionally. And it's on YouTube and it's fucking crazy, amazing quality. And so I put that on for her and she like marked out for it. And I just, I liked that I did that for her. But yeah, so she's a massive Stones fan. It just never rubbed off on me. My dad was never a massive Stones fan. Like he liked them enough, but never really went in deeper than what I have. So it is what it
Gotcha.
is. But my dad actually owns all the records. He has all of them. They're all right there. All of them are right there. So if I ever want to dive into the Stones, got them all right there. But yeah,
Gotcha.
so whatever. It is what it is.
Good choice. I'm gonna go with one more in the metal world. One that most people would probably, if you knew me, you'd probably expect me to like, and that's Opeth.
Mm.
Um, they're jocked. They're one of the biggest prog metal bands going today. Early like progressive death metal.
Mm-hmm.
So things that I absolutely love. And like some of those records, man, it's just like, okay, and like their later records are very just 70s prog influence. Like they lost a lot of the heaviness and even that stuff's like, all right. I'm never really I appreciate them. I appreciate Michael Ackerfeld. Like I think he's obviously very fucking talented, but it's just I don't know, man. It's just never grabbed me. Maybe I've never ran into them live,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. Like they've never been on a pack. I would never go see them by themselves, but they've never been on a package where I saw them. So maybe that's why. But but yeah, just Opeth. They're a giant fucking band, still going today. A lot of people love them. A lot of 70s prog heads love them because they put all the 70s prog into it. Um, a lot of death metal fans love them because that's where they started out. But they have one of the best fucking album titles ever. My Arms, Your Hearse. I fucking love that album fucking title. I've always have. But like outside of like trying to dive into like Blackwater Park, that's like their biggest fucking album. I've tried to listen to that album multiple times. I have, and it's just like, all right, I don't know, man. There's stuff going on, but I don't know, man. It's rough. It's rough.
They
I've
have a
always
pretty deep discography too, which is also another part of it. Like I imagine they have 13 records.
yeah, they've got a big discography, you know. They kind of get lumped in with Mastodon a lot because Mastodon started later, much later, but very similar ways where Mastodon was very heavy band and then went
Mhm.
more like 70s prog influence on later records. But I don't know, I've always just been a Mastodon fan. Like they've always stuck with me way more and appealed to me, which is weird because I'm pretty sure Opeth is from Sweden and I
Yeah.
absolutely love Swedish death metal. So you would think you'd pair Swedish death metal with prog. I'd love it. But even their early death metal shit, like it's usually in one ear and out the other. Like for whatever reason, it just does not stick with me, which is really weird. That's probably the band on this list that I'm most upset about that I can't get into because
Yeah.
I've always just figured, oh, I should be an Opeth fan. Like it's everything that I appreciate and enjoy in music, and that's just for whatever reason, man, I just can't. I remember a video on I think on Fuse or maybe Headbangers Ball. I think they were doing a what's the album? Something Reveries or something. Might just be Reveries. It's like 06, 05. And I remember the video being pretty cool and like even then, like I was like, this is a cool video, but the song's just lacking. I think I bought that CD too. It was just no.
Have you ever
So
bought an Opeth record?
that's what I just said. I
No,
bought
like
that.
no, vinyl. Vinyl.
No, they did for Record Store they did My Arms Your Hearse. They did a like a 25th anniversary, I think, or something like that in April. And I thought about it, but I was like, nah. Like I'm not gonna waste the money because
For some
I'm
reason, when I
probably
searched all the records, I thought you had something, but I could be lying to you.
nah, no, I don't. I don't own an Opeth record. I definitely thought about that pretty hard. I know that record, that concept of that record's pretty cool too,
Yeah.
and I probably listened to it once or twice all the way through. But like I said, just nothing ever fucking grabbed me, which is really, really weird. Maybe someday, maybe someday. So yeah, Opeth.
Are
Um, good.
are you so I am hopeful for a lot of these at least, not obviously not the ones we really actually shit talked, but I'm hopeful that like maybe one day it clicks. Maybe one day I'm actually able to get into the band and like whatever and this and that. I'm hoping I get more out of it. Like, are you hopeful? Yeah, one day that Opeth will click and like, you'll be a part of it.
I honestly think the ship has sailed. I don't know. You know, Pete on Sia Tricotta was the same way with Opeth. He doesn't like growling vocals and shit, so he thought that's all they were. And then he got
Yeah,
into the most recent shit, which is all shit that he loves and really appreciated. And then he went backwards and started appreciating all the early shit.
mhm.
So, Pete doesn't mind it, but he was the same story. I was saying Pete hates the vocals of it. Maybe it was Martin or something. But anyway, um, either way, like he went backwards and started appreciating it after they changed their style. So I don't know, man. Maybe I would actually enjoy to get into Opeth because I think there's a lot to dig into there.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite very few of these bands I would say like I don't like DMB. I don't want to get into Grateful Dead. I
Outside
don't.
the jam bullshit, yeah,
Yeah. Cradle, I've tried. I don't care. Queen,
yeah,
I've tried. I don't care. Tool, I
yeah,
know, and I don't care. So probably not. The
yeah.
Doors, I actively dislike. So, so no. I'm always done with my list. How many more you got left?
So I can do like a couple.
I've
So
got
I
I've got
think
two more. So
okay. So I don't like go too deep in it. It's just like because I have not gone as deep maybe as I need to go into them, but like it's still just at the current time. And I know they're massive in certain audiences. So the current one that came to mind for a current band is the 1975. So the
mm,
1975 are massive.
yeah.
Uh, a lot of people love that. I know it's like pop rock and like little indie and whatever, and it's cool vibes and whatever. Like that's cool. I've listened to a handful and a half of those songs, and I've asked people like what songs to listen to. I've listened to them, whatever. I can't think about it on the top of my head, but I've listened, and it's whatever. I just it's not for me. Um, it's not anything that I really entertain, but it's interesting to me because they are so fucking big right now, and I guess for the last let's say 4 or 5 years, they're fucking
Oh
huge.
yeah.
And it's like a culty thing. Like it's so fucking huge. Um, among the younger audiences. Like another thing, we watch vinyl collection videos if they're younger, specifically younger females, especially. They have a bunch of these records, and they always have the long titles, and when they know all the stuff, the ins and outs of the band. I know Matt Healy's lead singer. I see he's in headlines a bunch for like a bunch of things that he's maybe doing or not doing with certain people or something or other. No idea, but it's very paparazzi kind of shit, and like tabloidy things. Like it's so weird. Basically it's like a boy band almost, like back in the day.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So 1975 is one that can't go more deep on that. But it's just for right now. I don't know. Maybe one day it'll click. But for me, at this current time, just not. It's something that I super get into.
Gotcha. I can't even tell you a song that I've ever heard from them. So I don't know.
Well,
so
yeah, I know you definitely can't. Yeah, you definitely can't.
So I can't even tell you like yay or nay on that at all. But I can agree they're definitely fucking giant. So I agree with you there. I know that much. One band I'm going to put on here that maybe is surprised is not an overlap. Radiohead.
Okay.
Just a giant fucking band. Radiohead. I don't really get. I don't really get the appeal and why they are so fucking big. Like Tom York's a decent vocalist. I guess I can see the appeal. I don't know. Like I remember when those first few records were coming out too, and Josh was buying them. Like, so I've heard a lot of that shit. It's just the early stuff, and like, I don't know. It's never been something I wanted to follow up on. Much like Tool fans, I don't like Radiohead fans. I don't dislike Tool fans. I just say that. I just dislike all the religion around it.
Yes.
Like, just tone it down a little bit.
Yeah. You can be into it. But you don't have to tell me why. You don't have to actually tell me why I'm wrong and that my favorite band is not Tool. Like, that's the thing.
And Radiohead's the same way.
I would very much so agree with that. Yeah, I think we're on the same page. Like, I didn't really have any connections to Radiohead at all. I remember seeing those the Creep video, and I remember seeing like I think they have like two other ones that were kind of big-ish back in the 90s, and I remember seeing those.
Karma Police was a big video.
Yeah, I remember seeing those videos back when I was a kid, but not really taking it in. Like, I just remember seeing them. Yeah, Radiohead never thing that grabbed me. Like, it's just a religion band for sure. They have a lot of different, like, well, actually they don't have a lot of different records. They have a lot of different like sounds within those records. I know that. I was talking to one of my favorite dudes ever. So the lead singer of Manchester Orchestra, which is my favorite band. I was talking to him like 2 weeks ago, and we were going back and forth, whatever the fuck. And he was like, he told me about something. He was like, also check out Smile whenever you get a chance. And Smile is Tom York and Johnny Greenwood, I think his name is. He's also in Radiohead. That's their side band that they're touring on right now. And I know that Andy's a huge Radiohead guy, and so he said check him out whenever you get a chance. And so he knows what I'm into, and he was he knows I love Nine Inch Nails and stuff, whatever, right? And that's like, so I asked him, I was like, okay, if I want to get into Radiohead, what do I do? Like, what's give me the record? Like, if I want to do this, like, what do I got to do? Surprisingly enough to me, without knowing shit, because I know that like OK Computer, Kid A, Amnesiac, right? I know those are like huge fucking records. Excuse me, for Radiohead fans.
Yeah.
He told me about he told me about In Rainbows. He said In Rainbows is if you're into Nine Inch Nails, if you're into Manchester, his band, you're into that band, you're into us, like you're into like, I forget what else he said. He's like, if you're into that, I think that's gonna be In Rainbows is perfect. I think that'll be the record for you. And I still to this day have not done it. I have not listened to it yet. I think I might have listened to, because I know they did do some cool shit during the pandemic where they released a lot of stuff on YouTube, like archival stuff. And they had an In Rainbows studio performance that they did in the moment, in the time, that they finally posted on YouTube. And I watched a lot of that, and because I tried, like I really wanted to do it, because I saw people jockeying and people talking about like, if you look at 1789, look at what he does with his pedals and this and that and whatever the fuck, this sound, like it's just so cool to see him do it, whatever, all that stuff. And I watched it and it was cool, like whatever. I don't think I finished it, but I watched the parts that people kept, time stamping and this and that. and it was fine. But it never clicked with me, unfortunately, at that moment. Maybe it'll click me again if I really give it a solid chance, a fighting chance. Listen to In Rainbows or something. I'm not sure, but like I don't know, man. Like it's just maybe that's another thing. Like the fans maybe turn me off more than what the band does at a certain respect. And I think Tools, like we just said, is the same way because
Yeah.
I remember when In Rainbows came out, and for subsequently for a little bit afterwards, I remember that was an entire happening. And then they started another thing me and Ty hated is they did all the singles. Then those stuck around in the record stores for years and years and years. And that was another annoyance that we had, just for no reason, really. It was annoying because we go through the records and we have to go through literally 29 of these fucking singles. We'd just throw them and then look in the behind them. It was just annoying as shit. So I kind of want to do it and try to do it at some point again. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I'm with you there. I think Radiohead. I didn't think about it, but I think Radiohead would have made my list if I thought about it. You're right. That would have made my list.
I think the ship has sailed on Radiohead for me personally.
Yeah.
But maybe
so
someday.
Hold up, because I know that are Josh or Colin Radiohead guys at all? I know they bought the records. Are they like today, right now? Are they?
No. Yeah. I don't think so. I don't think so
Yeah.
at all. Yeah, Josh had what's the first record with Creep? Is that Pablo? Pablo Honey?
Maybe.
Can't remember. Like the first record with Creep, and then I think the second record he had, maybe the first three Josh had, but like, yeah, after that. And then like as they got bigger and bigger and the cult and like the religion formed around him, it just turned me off even more.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like I say that like a negative, like Slayer, they're probably my top 20 favorite bands of all time. Like Slayer has a fucking religious following too. But I've also never met a Slayer fan was like, I've met crazy fucking Slayer fans, but like you've never met a Slayer fan was like, well,
what the fuck?
You like Metallica too? What the fuck? It's like there's Tool fans that will actively say like, you like fucking this too? Like what the?
I also think that. I think that like Slayer fans are just intense.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're like. I don't think they think they're on another plane.
Yes. Yeah,
I don't want to.
They're having a religious experience.
Yeah, I also don't want to say that Tool fans think they're better than other people. I don't want to say that's like a thing. That's kind of like what it kind of sounds like almost, but I don't want to say that's the reality because I don't want to actually talk shit about the fans in that way. Like you think they're better than us, yeah. But like it's like that's kind of like the way it comes off a lot of the times. And Slayer fans, like I said, are just intense about Slayer. Like, you know, you see them go off and do their shit and they're fucking 44 years old, but they're still going way too hard in the pit and doing crazy shit and screaming and doing everything else. They got all the crazy tattoos and shit, everything else, you know, whatever. But yeah, I don't think without, man, talking to a lot of the Slayer fans of the shows, whenever we went to the show, I just was doing a lot of people watching, obviously, at that point and listening to the band, enjoying my stuff, whatever. But we didn't really have conversations with them, or I didn't, right? Yeah, if they found out you liked another band, I don't think they would be like, what the fuck? Why the fuck would you like Aerosmith? Like, this, you got Slayer here. Like, I also would love to believe, like we've talked before, I would love to believe that they understand that like Slayer is not meant for every emotion. So like you would need more things, you know, in your fucking your systems here. Besides Slayer, because Slayer is not built for every possible emotion or experience or whatever.
No.
You know, and I think that they probably, by and large, have that same thought.
I think, honestly, any music that requires more than just a casual thing, it kind of inherently gets like, we're better than you attitudes. I don't think that's just Tool fans, like you were saying.
I guess culty audiences.
Because, I mean, that's prog. It's like, well, we understand things. We understand things better than the average casual listener.
It's a lot of math. Like, it's a lot of like thinking man's music.
But to me, that's very pretentious. But I think that applies to a lot of
pretentious. That's the word I was searching for. Pretentious, like yes.
So, I did Radiohead. You got one more?
I have one that like. I just don't get it. Like, I'm not saying anything bad. Like, I haven't dug deep, but you know, I talked about this before. This band, like, just very passing. Primus came up in my mind. No, I don't
Gotcha.
hate Primus. Like whatever. It's like, but I know Primus has a lot of fans. Like I don't think they're by any means as big as the bands we just mentioned, but Primus has a good amount of fans. And
Oh, yeah.
another thing that I don't care about Primus. I know the 3 songs, right? And I know My Name Is Mud because of Tony Hawk, but like that's all. Or Jerry Was Race Car Driver is Tony Hawk.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know that from that, but like My Name Is Mud, and then the other one, I forgot the other song.
Big Brown Beaver.
But like, there you go. Like they're all, yeah. So it's all just like novelty, jokey songs and stuff, and it sounds cool. Like I think all those songs kind of sound cool, but I don't care about everything else around it. I don't care about like the fucking, the 19 string bass that Les carries around and shit. I don't care about that. Like it's just not a thing for me. Like I've seen enough. Like for some reason, one day I was on like I think Instagram is the worst for algorithms because Instagram will feed you anything. If you watch 3 reels or whatever of a certain thing, Instagram will feed you a million of those. However many reels are tagged with that thing. Like I remember once I saw like a thirst trap video and I didn't know it was a thirst trap. It was a weird image. And I was like, what the fuck is that? I clicked it. It was a thirst trap video. It was like a girl doing booty shit, right? And I was like, all right, cool. And then I clicked, I don't look at Instagram for booty stuff. And then like, I remember like I looked at like another reel and I went through. And then all of a sudden the booty videos almost immediately kept coming through. I was like, what are we doing here? Like I looked at one by mistake, but like, whatever, I don't care, but I don't need this now. But anyway, I did that with a Primus video, and I knew what it was because I know Les's face. I know, and especially it was like mid '90s, so I know the whole hat and the whole thing. I know the thing, right? So I was like, all right, I'll click the Primus video. It was him doing My Name Is Mud, and I watched that, and like I watched the entire minute reel or whatever, and I was like, all right, it's cool. Like doing the thing, doing the breakdown stuff. That's kind of cool. And the bass is the lead guitar was just kind of cool. I like that. But it's not for me going anywhere, deeper than that. And then they kept feeding me more Primus and more Primus. I started watching. They gave me like 1994 Primus in Mexico videos. And I was like, okay, I don't need to have this, man. I don't need it in my life. Come on, bro.
That's right.
Just, yeah, they're really trying to like, maybe fucking Zuck's a big
Primus
guy.
Primus and Butts. There you go.
Oh, yeah, that's what the name of the episode right there.
And then Primus with Butts.
Yeah, very true. Also, those.
Yeah, I maybe put them in there. Yeah, because they're another band like Radiohead, like my brothers had the albums, and Primus is a big Dan band.
Yes.
So yeah, I kind of lumped them in there. Yeah, I got one more. We'll just kind of leave it off at this. Basically, all of the new wave of traditional heavy metal bands. So basically all these bands that are basically just playing the new wave of British heavy metal, just redoing it.
Okay.
I don't really get it. I just rather listen to those bands that did it. They did it better than you at the time.
What bands?
You aren't in
what bands are you talking about? Actually,
there's a shit ton of them. Most of them, actually, coincidentally, like all of them are Canadian. There's like Enforcer. Haunt. Haunt is actually pretty cool. They're from LA. It's not bad. It's just like you're not doing anything cool. You're not doing anything that hasn't been done before. Exactly. Like, and very much like the early 2000s when the new wave of thrash came, and you had a lot of those bands like Municipal Waste. I appreciate Municipal Waste, but it's like once you heard it once, you heard it all, and it's like I just rather listen to fucking Exodus. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate your love of the genre, but it's like,
but you're not doing
something new with it. Like Unto Others, I appreciate Unto Others. I guess you could kind of lump them in that. They do very traditional stuff, but they bring the goth elements into it. Like they bring The Cure and Sisters of Mercy, and they bring Typo Negative and like other bands that aren't Nwabum bands. Exactly. Into it. So as long as you could put a little bit of a twist on it, I'm into it. Visigoth, they're a giant band sort of in that scene, and like it's fine. It's fine music. It's good metal, but it's like there's been thousands of other US power metal bands did this before you, and they did it better, and it was
service with it.
Exactly. And you were now you're just a derivative of something that somebody already perfected. Like, and I guess there's not a lot of those bands around anymore, so you're trying to bring back a scene, which I can appreciate, but like, just do something new,
Yeah.
something. I'm not saying everything has to be brand new, but just throw a fucking twist onto it, please. So
Yeah.
just that entire fucking scene, it bothers the fuck out of me. So we'll end it on that. We'll throw an entire scene down the tube.
I do think that Enforcer is a sick name of a band, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's a billion fucking Enforcers.
I think that's true.
So I could look on the metal encyclopedia right now. The Enforcer fucking list. This is probably
I don't know
18 pages.
I'm with you. I don't know how they made a record. If their band name is Enforcer, how the fuck did you do this? Like, there's way too many Enforcers, whether it be present day or otherwise, that happened before you. You have to be Enforcer Canada.
Cauldron is another one. They're all right. Portrait is a pretty cool band. I think they got some decent shit, but it's just like you guys all sound the fucking same.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too. Now you all sound like each other. Now there's 1,000 of you, and now you all sound like each other.
Yeah. No, you're right. Like, it's so like to do the thrash stuff, like the Big Four. There's a different flavor in the Big Four, but they're all playing thrash. But there's a different. Every one of those bands has a different flavor. All of them.
But then you can get into like other bands in that scene. You get into Testament. Yeah. Testament's different than all those bands. Exodus is different. Death Angel, like that whole Bay Area scene. Like all those bands are very different. Like so,
as much as they're the same, they're very different. Very different. Yes. Like, besides the fact that it is all thrash metal and that certain scene, they all have a way different take and a different flavor and different, lyrical styling, fucking takes, whatever.
It's all ice cream, but it's different flavors. Yeah. And it's like a lot of this new wave of traditional heavy metal stuff is all like, it's all vanilla to me.
I was going to say all vanilla, yes.
Outside of like a few select bands. But it's even worse than that because like I could just go back 30, 40 years, whatever, and listen to bands that did this way better
and get what you need.
And they did it first. Yes. And they did it first. And I get the argument. A lot of those bands don't exist anymore. I understand. If you want to pay homage, it's fine. But like, bring something else to the fucking table other than just like, we're going to do the same thing over again. So I think that just does not get me excited at all. But yeah, you got anything else to throw on? Any other honorable mentions you want to throw under the bus? Any other controversy that you want to cause?
I mean, I don't really like 21 Pilots. It's just not for me. I don't like pop. Like
I've never listened to a fucking. I don't even know a song.
You've heard a song in passing by something. I guarantee it. Whether it be on a radio station or in a store, you've heard a song.
All right.
They're just way too popular. I've heard the 3 or 4 songs. I don't care. I never got into it. They had like that big record Vessel, right? And I remember when that came out, everybody was jocking you at that point, and I was just like, okay, whatever. And I listened to I don't think I listened to the whole record. I definitely did not listen to the whole record, but I listened to like the first 2 singles, and I was like, okay, cool. But it's just nothing that really grabbed me, and they are fucking one of the most popular bands in music, and it's just insanity.
Yeah.
So don't really care about 21 Pilots. Anything else? Oh, Citizen. Okay. You want to say about 21 Pilots?
No, it's cool. I've never heard. I don't even think I've heard a 21 Pilots song, so I would agree. Like that, all that shit to me is just it's passed me by. I'm resigned to the fact that it's not for me. It's not my generation. So it just is what it is.
Yeah, like
Citizen, though, I know of Citizen.
Nice. There you go. Okay. So Citizen, actually, I didn't know why. Maybe I just didn't, whatever. So So Citizen are a emo, pop punk, whatever they want to call themselves, American rock band, post-hardcore, alt-rock, grunge, shoegaze, just whatever, everything. Right? That's everything. Cool. So Citizen, their first EP was called Young States. I remember that came out because I forget what somebody posted about it, okay? So this is 2011, okay? Someone posted videos of Matt Kierkees, I think his last name is. I don't know how you pronounce it. I think it's Kierkees or something. he's doing a solo performance of one of the songs on there, and I think it's like The Night We Drove Alone, I think is the name of the song. And it was cool. I liked it. I was like, and I remember on Facebook in 2011 or whatever the fuck, I remember posting the video and going, "This band's the next band." And I did that, and they ended up blowing up to a certain respect, as big as you're going to get in that scene. They were one of those bands, right? But I liked it, and I knew they had immediately had Brand New influence. I knew Brand New was a major band of influence for Matt Kierkegaard, whatever. It's one of his favorite bands, I guess, whatever. And I heard it in there immediately, and I was like, all right, cool. Like, they're a big Brand New, influence band. I like that. It's cool. I like Brand New, so I like it enough, right? The first record comes out, still have a lot of that Brand New flavor in there. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, it's called Youth, and I'm like, all right, kind of still sounds like Brand New. But let's see what goes on. They never stopped. Every record has Brand New influence in it, so much so that like it's just a tribute band for a lot of this shit. I'm just over it. They never got out of it. So like I have not listened to the newest record. I have not done that. But the records prior to that, I've listened to one time at least. And I just all I do is hear Brand New worship, and I'm over it. I can't do it. And it's just not a thing for me anymore. And I thought you were going to evolve and do your different shit. You never did. You never fucking did. You just want to do Brand New tributes. And it's like they worked their way through the discography too. So like they started out with like Deja and stuff or whatever, and like more like acoustic stuff, and they just kept going with the discography. They didn't really have like a straight up pop punk thing for like as much as like the first Brand New record is, but they just kept going through the Brand New discography and remaking those kind of records and with those sounds. And I just got out of it. I'm just like, all right, fuck it. I don't care enough about this, and you guys never did anything besides sound like Brand New, so I'm over it. I've seen them live like 5 times because they've been on bands, or they've been on tours with bands that I've really cared about a lot. I've seen them, I think, 3 times with Manchester, like, and I think they're on a couple. I think I entered over another tour and whatever. Like, it was cool. They're whatever. I don't care. But kids go off for that band, and I remember seeing them in L.A. And like they were sitting there, and they were main support, and I remember sitting there for Manchester. I remember sitting there, and I was just like, all right, cool. Like, I don't give a fuck about this shit at all. And everyone else was going the fuck off and everything, and I was like, oh, cool. Like, I'm not hating, I'm not giving the fucking finger during this shit, but it's whatever, it's fine to me. Like, I've heard those stories from bands. It's really interesting to me that people are just like, please don't make that the screenshot, but or whatever. But please don't do that. But like,
Great.
don't, please God. But yeah, I just don't care. And so that's kind of my take on them. That they're exactly this. I just don't give a fuck. Don't care. I don't hate them. I get why kids are into it, but a lot of it's derivative, and you're not doing anything too different. And Brand New did it really well when they did it. So for my money, if I'm going to listen to those sounds and those records, I'm listening to Brand New every day of the week, because Jesse Lacey was a much better songwriter. They explored a lot of different weird sounds and shit. They took a lot of weird chances and whatever, a lot of experimentation. Like, I liked all that. They were better songs than what you're writing and what you're putting out there. So that's my take on Citizen. I should have thought of them earlier. I hate that there's a throwaway response at this point. They ended the hanger on, and honorable mention here. But yeah, so Citizen for me, I'm not a fan. I don't hate them, but I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Just listen to Brand New, homie.
Yeah, well, it's funny because it's fine to be influenced by shit, but it's just like, try to bring something else eventually, like, just give it a shot. It's great to have your influences and wear those. I like a lot of bands that wear their influences heavy on their sleeves, but like, if they usually they'll change it up every few records or something, or do something, like, just try it.
And I've had this conversation with Citizen fans before, and like, I've been very non-confrontational. I haven't like yelled or anything. I'm just like, I can't do it. It's just Brand New worship, man. I can't do it. Their fans don't deny it. That's the thing about it, is their fans go, well, okay, like, yeah, I get it, but I do think that this is cool or whatever. Like, I'm not saying it's not cool. I'm not saying like don't like it, but I am saying it's just so very derivative, and it's just not something that appeals to me to want to go any deeper than what I already have. Because you're trying to remake these records that already exist and already were, perfect in a lot of respects in my mind. And I'm just not into it. Whatever.
Gotcha. Well, That's it, guys. That's bands we just don't get, we don't understand, we're not into. Maybe some of these we would like to be into some days. If you got any bands like this or artists, leave them down in the comment section below. If you made it this far, give us a thumbs up, subscribe for more videos. Videos coming at you all the time. You know, we got all kinds of stuff happening on the channel. We got reviews, we got this podcast that goes for hours on end. So if you're into that, it's
Some would say too long, really, but not us. But some would say
I've said it before. They are wrong, but they can say that. So yeah, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight and each and every week on the podcast. So we end the podcast with the choosing of a topic. Tyler chose tonight's topic, so I'm going to choose next week's topic. We are going to have a special guest on the show next week. We are doing another album ranking. And it's interesting. We left off with bands that wear their influences on their sleeve, because this is a band that definitely does, but I absolutely adore. We are going to be ranking the Killers' discography next week on the podcast. So if you're into that, check us out. And hopefully Tyler does his homework and brings the controversy, because like Bischoff says, it creates the cash.
That's true. And given the fact that like I don't know a lot of Killers past the first 3 records, given that fact, I will come with a very different perspective for most, because I have 7, right? So most of the discography, I don't know anything about it beyond a passing listen with you in the car or truck or whatever, right? Yeah.
Sure.
And special guest, not to hype it up too much, we got Brandon Flowers. So he's gonna come on and rank his own records, and it's gonna be pretty cool. Yeah. He's gonna look different. Yeah. He's doing a look this next week, but it's Brandon Flowers, just so you guys know.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna choose his favorite children. So anyways, guys, that is the Living Deadwax podcast for this week, and we will see you next time. Peace.